Okay guys, I wanted to do a quick video here on something that probably should have been done before season. It's a human odor control or scent spray. A lot of people spend a lot of money on scent remover, scent cover up for deer hunting, and for just a couple of dollars you can make it yourself. Um, so I'm going to show you how I do it, which is pretty much basically the way anybody else will do it that you might look up on YouTube or whatever. I got a couple of different things that I do. Make sure that I do. So what you're going to need for this is you're going to need something to hold water in. You're going to need distilled water. Make sure it's distilled. Cost like 70 cents at Kroger or grocery store. You're going to need a box of baking soda. You're going to need a quarter cup measuring cup. You're going to need some 3% hydrogen peroxide. Make sure you don't go over 3%. Get the 3% because you don't want to spray this on your clothes with the higher than 3%. And then you're going to need a couple of bottles, and you want to make sure that these bottles are opaque. That's one of the key things. Hydrogen peroxide breaks down in the light. Okay, that's why it comes in a brown bottle, opaque bottle. So you want to make sure that the bottles that you're using are opaque. Okay, so again, a gallon of distilled water, 16-ounce bottle of hydrogen peroxide, baking soda, a quarter cup measuring cup, 2 opaque bottles, make sure that they're opaque, and something to hold everything in. So what we're going to do now is we're going to warm this up. You can do it without it being warmed up, but it takes a whole lot longer for the baking soda to dissolve. So I'm going to cut you guys off here for a second, get this finished poured up into here, or started pouring in here, and then I am going to warm this up. You can do it in a pan on a stove top, or you can do it in the microwave. I probably just throw this in the microwave and just give it a minute or so and let it warm up. And then I'll be right back to you. Okay, now we got this warmed up. This is not boiling. You don't want to get it boiling, but you want to just keep it warm. Warm to the touch, lukewarm, a little over lukewarm. And then you're going to take your quarter cup, which I only have an eighth, so we're going to put 2 in here. I don't know what happened to our quarter cup measuring spoon, but I'm going to put a quarter cup worth of baking soda into the water. And then you're going to need something to stir it with also. And you're going to stir this until the cloudiness is gone. Make sure everything is completely dissolved in there. And this may take a few minutes to do, so I may turn you off and then come back. Okay, this is pretty clear now. I think everything's all dissolved as much as it's pretty much going to do. And you can see it, hopefully you can see it through the glass here. That's pretty clear. So the next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to add the hydrogen peroxide. And go ahead and, some of this I could have had prepared beforehand, but kind of give you the way it actually goes, minus the time lapse. Alright, so you're going to pour the entire 16-ounce bottle into your mixture here. Get rid of that. Okay, now we're stirring again. You're going to stir this. The consistency between the water and the hydrogen peroxide is just a little bit different. So you're definitely going to want to make sure that it gets stirred in here. And I know some guys, I've seen a couple of videos where they put it in a bottle and shake it. The only problem with that is this mixture, when it's first mixed together, creates a lot of pressure inside the bottle, and it's just as easy, you know, to warm the water up a little bit, mix everything together, and not have a buildup of pressure in your bottle. So this is going to go for, you know, a couple of minutes. Just make sure everything's all mixed in here really good. Okay, the next thing, after we get this all mixed up, you're going to want to do is you're going to want to let this mixture cool. Where I mean, it's cooled off now. But if it's still warm, you guys want to make sure that you let it cool down before you put it in the bottles. And what I normally do is, after it's cooled down, which I'm going to say it's cooled down enough now, I'll go ahead and pour it into the bottles, but I won't screw the cap on tight. And then I will let it sit overnight. Oops, I'm going to need a funnel. Let me find a funnel. Okay, so my funnel, I have no idea where it was, so I went ahead and filled both these bottles up without it, and I did it off camera so you guys can't see how messy I am. So now what we're going to want to do is we're just going to set these lids on here and just give it just like a little half a thing so we're not, you know, spilling it over or whatever. You want to leave them kind of loose. And then I'm going to set these just, you know, in the cupboard or something, somewhere at room temperature. And I'm going to let them sit overnight. And these will be ready to hunt with tomorrow. These, as long as you keep these in an opaque bottle, they should last, you know, throughout any time that you're going to be using them. And then you just make more. So now I've got the 2 bottles here. Once they're done, I still got a half a gallon of distilled water. I'll need to buy hydrogen peroxide, and I have the baking soda. So that's all really it is in a scent spray. I do know some people will put some unscented soap in theirs also, and they use it for a binding agent to kind of hold everything together. I've done it before, and I don't really think it makes a whole lot of difference. The whole idea behind this is you're spraying it on. Once it dries, it's absorbed any of the odors that you have on your clothes. And a lot of people I've seen in threads and different things that said, oh, I made it and it didn't work, and the deer came downwind from me and spooked. And okay, so 2 things. One is this is not guaranteed. It works. It really does work, but nothing is ever guaranteed. Number 2, if you're worried about the deer coming downwind from you, you've already done something wrong, right? Because regardless of what you do, you need to play the wind. I do some different things that we'll do in another video to kind of help me out. If I'm in a setup where, you know, the wind changes, and that always happens. You know, the wind can change where you're at and everything. But this will work. I've had deer directly downwind from me and not spooked. I'm not saying if you get, you know, an 8-year-old 200-inch that comes downwind from you, he ain't going to figure something out, or an old doe or something. But the whole purpose behind this is to give them, you know, oh, wait a minute, you know, give you time to get your shot off. So it may not destroy every little ounce of human odor, but it's definitely enough to get the deer thinking, you know, what is it, you know, not spooking the second that they smell you. So I'll mark these, you know, I usually put HOC on them for human odor control, and then tomorrow when I get out of work, this is what I'll be spraying down with. So if you guys got any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them down in the comments section. Please like and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you in the next one.